when we're looking at global inequality, there's no question but that it's on the rise. I think the challenge before us is to decide whether we're going to invest the political will that's necessary to reverse that. It's possible to make the trend lines go the other way, but it takes political commitment. When we look at the viability of international and global institutions to play a role, I think we've got to think about a few things. One is, are they relevant to the people that they are supposed to serve? And I think one of the reasons we're seeing a shift away from multilateral institutions is the perception that they're not actually delivering what's needed. That's number one. I think number two is that they need to look into the future. You know, a lot of these institutions were created a long time ago for good reasons, but they need to modernize and be relevant to our thinking about the next 50 years. So I think it's entirely possible to revitalize them and then be able to use them, but they're going to have to shift. So when we think about how do you reduce inequality, people point to all sorts of solutions. You fix the tax system. You provide more assistance. You rely on philanthropy. You turn to technology or entrepreneurs. The fact is, we need all of those things to work. And underneath it, we've got to make sure that economies work and can deliver for their citizens. Because we're not going to see economies run on foreign aid or philanthropic capital into the future. We've got to figure out how to generate that wealth. And the way to do that is to give everybody equal access to the tools needed to do that. I am an eternal optimist because the alternative strikes me as boring and pointless. I think when I think about it, there's been a push for greater global representation on these international bodies. And one of the things we've seen recently is coming from the chairman of the African Union, Senegalese President Macky Sall, Emmanuel Macron, Joe Biden have all come out in support of providing a seat to the African Union at the G20, which right now only represents 60% of the world's people. That's the kind of move we need to be making, because only if everybody's at the table can we get solutions that work for everybody.